what's gonna do me right. The sun rising in my head until I just cannot believe my eyes. And you tell me it's another phase. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. I don't think I'll ever enough. Making so the fire doesn't stop. Are you listening to me? Don't tell me that I'm mine. I will be fine. They can tell me that I'm mine. I will be fine. They can tell me that I'm mine. I will be fine. Let my body do me right. Say I will be fine.
Hello, I go by the name Axulion. I am an artist, musician, and a music producer from Brunei. My passion in music started when I was in high school. I listened to a lot of my producer heroes such as Madion, Farah Robinson, and Owl City. And from there, I was very curious on how to make music and specifically how to make music like them. So that's when I getting into music production. I installed my very first music making software on my mom's laptop. I think the software is called Linux Multimedia Studio, which is free and easy to use and very straightforward. That's how I got into music production. So in 2016, that's when I finally got into music production professionally. That's when I started getting into technical aspect of music production, such as learning about mastering or mixing to keep up to the standard of the music industry. Also the same year, I've released my first song.
Can you feel the wave, the ones you fell into from your deep nightmare? Can you feel the wind blows wherever you are? Put me in a maze, 'cause I don't care and I will find you right away. Can you feel the wind blows wherever you are? I want you to know that this isn't the ending. If you are the light, just don't let yourself fading. I was in a dark, cold place beneath the stormy wind.
But I didn't know how to distribute my music because during that time I didn't know anything about music business, such as distribution or making money out of my music. But I've only released it on like my social media or SoundCloud, and I've managed to release it on local radio station. But I found it very rewarding to get to share my music to the people who wants to listen to my music, and to all the strangers that I shared my music, and it was very fun thing to do for me. So I kept on making music. In 2018, that's when I decided to join some remix contests just to improve myself in my music production. One specific remix contest that I've joined was hosted by DJ Swivel, which is one of the music producer that I've looked up to. And yeah, and then eventually I've won my first ever remix contest.
What else do we have? The next one is from Axulion, I think, and he's from Brunei. I've never been to Brunei. I've been to Dubai, so in the neighborhood, but I've never been to Brunei. I've always wanted to go. Ooh, more down tempo. I like it.
I'm digging through the glove box. I thought I had a map in here. The driver's door doesn't lock. I bought the car my junior year. Feet up on the dashboard. We're driving with the windows down. Forget your phone cord. We're balling in the next motel.
Okay, so just throw this on dim over there so I can still listen to it. So a couple notes. You have good drum choices, but not all of them are mixed right. Especially like the kick and the drop. I need to hear more low end in that. It's very tight and punchy, but it's missing that low end energy. So I think you can you can sort of improve that. The claps in the build, throw some reverb or some vibe on it. These claps are just too loud, they're too in your...
So in 2020, that's when I started creating my first album. It was a very daunting process at first, but eventually I enjoyed working on my album. And I think that was my biggest achievement because, not gonna lie, it was really hard to work on that album. And then I released it on 2022, which took me almost 3 years to finish it. And then fast forward to 2023, I've got into Artist of the Month, and at the same year I got nominated 2 times on Plangi Awards. I think one of my biggest challenges for me is trying to express myself through music, especially during my early experience in music production. But eventually I've learned to distance myself from external surroundings and just focus on my craft, because when I'm in that state, I do my best work. I didn't want to be bound by other people's opinions because I did not have a lot of resource, so I took my time learning how to make music, especially the technical aspect of music production. And that's when I started to involve myself in so many music collaborations, such as when I was working with RTB, and also I created my first record label so that I could able to learn so many music styles when I worked with so many various artists. And that's when I learned to immerse myself in music as well. During the process of making music, it is really important to take your time and try to know if you're exhausted or not, because when you're making music, you're repeatedly keep listening on the same thing over and over, and that will lead to ear fatigue, and also that will lead to bad outcome creatively. When I was working on my first album, Reason, I was actually cannot wait to move on from that because I've had a lot of ideas that I took note and just keep taking notes, because these ideas will be very useful for your next project.
He used to play piano a lot during high school, and he used to go to the hall and play the piano on stage until the break time is over. I noticed that he didn't care so much about his studies, but I am amazed he still managed it. We used to be in a band together since high school and hanging out during our free time to play music. But eventually we got separated because of our priorities, and he set his own path to have a professional music career. But when I jammed with him, I played the bass guitar. We had 3 members in our band. He is our keyboardist, and one more member, Jaafar, was our drummer. He is one of the best artists that I've known in Brunei, but unfortunately his genre is not that common in our country. I really believe he can be a very successful artist if he pursued his career elsewhere like Malaysia or even UK, in my opinion.
What I would say to my younger self is, you'll be fine, you're on the right path. Just keep on working and just focus on making music, and try not to predict the future too much. Try to not thinking about the future too much, and most importantly, enjoy the process and enjoy the journey.